Hello, welcome to College 110 and welcome to Educational Planning with Pierce College Career Pathways. I'm James Lett, I'm your instructor for this course, and I'll be going over with you how to use Pierce College Career Pathways as well as how to create your MyMap, your educational planner, which is your scheduling of classes for the next 3 to 4 quarters and hopefully all the way through to graduation. So let's get started. First, I want to share with you that here at Pierce College, we have developed our degree plans and certificates into career pathways. And we've identified 6 career pathways to support your learning and growth and eventual career goals, as well as transfer. And so those 6 career pathways, as you see over on the picture on the right, are on our website. This is a screenshot of the first page of our website, where there in the middle you'll see the 6 career pathways, and you can search by career pathways. You can also search by degree through traditional means, but using the career pathways are helpful in kind of taking away or reducing the amount of choice and getting you to the information that is specific to your interests. And so what we have are arts, humanities, and communication as pathway 1, and then business, pathway 2, education as pathway 3, healthcare, pathway 4, STEM, that stands for science, technology, engineering, and math, pathway 5, and then social and behavioral sciences, public services, pathway 6. Each pathway has several transfer and professional technical options. Transfer meaning that you would complete your first 2 years of education with Pierce College and then transfer to a 4-year university where hopefully you would enter as a junior. That is the goal. The professional technical options are those degrees and certificates that prepare you for immediate entry into the workforce. So if you're looking to upgrade your job skills or work with your hands, then these are the programs that support that. Also, if you're looking for specific skill sets such as computer information systems or computer network engineering or database management and design, those would be professional technical degrees. And you're not cut off from transferring, you can still transfer, but those do have the specific role of preparing you for immediate entry into the workforce, and they tend to be stackable. And what stackable means is that you can start working on a certificate as your start, complete that certificate, seek employment, and continue working on the associate degree as your goals and interests evolve. We also have the reason why career pathways is important, and while we're going through this is because it supports degree completion. We know that you've identified some goals for your career, for your life, and we want to make sure that you reach them. And so we want to make sure that you have a successful transfer. We want to make sure you have a successful eventual entry into your career. And to do that, we need to do some planning. I do encourage you to work with your advisor of record. And if you've not been assigned an advisor, then work with the advising centers at Fort Steilacoom, Puyallup, and JBLM. We're all virtual right now. And so connect with them to talk more about your goals for the future and develop a really strong pathway. You can also utilize our tools for career success. I've linked everything in the document so that you can navigate around our website and utilize the tools there and become familiar. One of the links that I have here is My Next Move. And so if you're still concerned about where you're going next and how you're going to get there, then I encourage you to take a look at My Next Move. There's a survey through ONET, which is an interest inventory. And after you've completed that interest inventory, at the end, what you will have is job zones and the careers that fit into those job zones. And you can kind of search around and see which one of those careers fit your interests and your goals and your picture for your life most. And then use that as a conversation starter with your advisor or a career counselor here at Pierce College so that you can identify the most appropriate pathway. Pierce College Career Pathways and Exploration. And so this is a snapshot of our page here. You can, once you click on what are career pathways, it takes you to this page where you can explore your career options and explore the career pathway, those 6 career pathways a little more in depth. Learn a little bit more. There's a short blurb about each one, what interests are there, and then as you progress through the Pierce Career Pathways page, you'll get to the programs that are offered in each pathway. The programs that are showing up right now on the screen there in the picture are from the Arts, Humanities, and Communications pathway. And you see that those are the degrees and course maps that are available under there. Now that's a short list. There's more once you click on the link to Arts, Humanities, and Communications. There are more options there, but I encourage you to do that and kind of see what's out there under that pathway. If you're unsure about what pathway is best and you're just looking for a general degree, then I recommend the Communication Studies Career Pathway. It's a general Associate of Arts transfer degree. Communications is also one of the top 3 employable skills in the workforce. And so a communications degree, associate degree is not a communications degree. It's preparation for transfer to a communications major. But if you choose that general pathway, you would still be prepared for most other humanities or social science based majors, such as, including psychology, sociology, history, etc. Once you get to, we've chosen in the picture there, you can see that we've chosen communication studies. And what you'll notice is there's contact information for you to reach out and connect with someone to learn more about communication studies. You also have some linked items there to support your navigation of this page. You can investigate the career, look at transfer, look at the course maps, and then look at getting started. Or you can just jump to the item that's that's of most interest to you. I do encourage you to explore the careers piece and take a look at the required skills. That's a really important communications piece, or not communication, but career piece, is to learn what the skills are. A lot of times we are looking at degrees, but we don't look at the skills that we need to acquire to do the work in the workplace. So look at what the degree require, what the career requires, what skills are out there, what's the starting salary looks like, or at least what the median, which is the mid-range salary, what does that look like? And is the career I'm going into, is it hiring? And if it's hiring, what's the long-term outlook? These are questions you want to ask along the way so that you're fully prepared to engage in the employment process upon completion of your goal, whether it be at the associate degree level or the certificate level or at the bachelor degree level. And this page supports that start. Everything we have is a start, but we do need to have community. You do need to have conversations with knowledgeable others. So starting with your advisors, working with career counselors, working with our job and career connections, doing a resume. I highly encourage you to create a resume before you leave Pierce College, and a start to a cover letter. Take advantage of those career resources to prepare for what's next. For this class, we're going to be using the course map, dependent upon your career pathway, using the course map to help you develop the next 3 quarters of classes for you. It's very important that you plan out your program as much as you can. I prefer you to plan out through to graduation so that you have an estimated graduation date. And there are reasons for doing that. One, it supports immediate registration so that you can get into the classes that you want, and you don't have to get caught up in the new student population as during the advising cycles. You'll be prepared and you can go straight to registration unless you have questions for advising that need answering before registration. The other piece that's important is that you get that estimated graduation date, which helps you be able to complete applications for transfer if you're planning to transfer. Many institutions for your schools open up their admissions applications in November, and then start making their decisions around April for a fall start in August or September. And so if you wait too long, you may miss the admission cycle and be set back a year to 18 months waiting to start at your next institution. And that could have an impact on funding if you're using financial aid or VA or other resources to complete your education and to support yourself. The other piece is for career. You want to build that resume and build that cover letter. If you're doing a professional technical degree, you want to have that as part of your portfolio before you complete your degree so that you can uh, seek work, seek employment before you complete your last class. You don't want to wait till you complete your last class and then have to experience the ills of trying to get a job and not having anything in the interim. So as much as we can, as we can, we want to work with your program navigator or advisor and job and career connections at the college to close that gap between completing your education and then and then seeking work. In these course maps, College 110 is the first course. It is in all of the maps. It is required that you complete College 110 so that you may be successful in your other coursework. What comes next is that second course is often a course that is directly related to your career. In this case, Introduction to Communications is identified because this is a communication studies course map, which is an Associate of Arts DTA, but we've identified the specific courses that we think prepare you best for entry into your major. And so the course map, so we use this course map to develop the personalized map. So this is on our website um, um, as a suggested sequencing. If you notice, there's a number next to each course, and that's the sequencing. That's the order you should take your courses. It also helps you kind of think about how many. If you just take one course at a time, then of course College One Success will be your fall quarter, and then Introduction to Communications would be your winter quarter. Research Essentials, which is only 2 credits, so think about that if you're using funding, financial aid, and other resources. That course would be your spring quarter. But if you were doing more than that, then College Success, Introduction to Communications, which is Research Essentials, and then the next course after that would be your quarter. And then you build based upon what your life needs are. Some students take one class at a time because during that quarter, they have other things going on. They have an increased workload at their job. They're having a baby. They're expecting to take care of a loved one. They're expecting to go into military training if you're a service member, or they're expecting a deployment. And so one class is all a student can handle. But in that next quarter, you might go into be in a position where you can take 2 or 3 classes. And so think about your life. What's going on in your life? What are the requirements of you each day? And how does that impact you being able to go to school? The other thing you want to think about is sort of a 1-by-2 model. So for every hour of learning you receive in Canvas, there may be 2 hours of study time that you need to engage in to prepare for exams and projects. And so if the course is a 5-hour course, then the expectation is that at least 5 hours is spent learning the materials that your instructor has put in Canvas and also engaging in other activities such as discussions and any synchronous instruction that the instructor has set up for you in Canvas. And then there may be double that. So 10 hours is spent actually engaging in study and preparation for exams and whatnot. And so you might be spending for one 5-hour course anywhere from 5 to 15 hours. If you're taking 3 5-credit courses, then that's anywhere from 15 to 45 hours. And so you want to think about, do you have the time per week to take as many credits as you're trying to take? Some courses come to you and dependent upon your interests more quickly, and you may feel that those courses are easy for you, but then there are other courses that may sneak up on you and they may require more of you than you anticipated in terms of assignments, whether it be breadth or depth, meaning that whether there be a lot of assignments or you may just have a few assignments, but they have a lot in those assignments, heavy you know, 5,000 word, 2,000 word essays, an in-depth group project potentially that you're working with another person where you've got to schedule time together. And so you want to make sure that you're accounting for that in your scheduling to make sure that you have enough space to be active, engaged, and ultimately successful in your classes. And finally, this is an example of a completed um, um, first year education plan. And if you notice there, I've indicated the quarter. And so fall quarter 2020, which is right now, college one, and this is based upon, before we go too far, this is based upon the communications course map. And I've linked to that so that you can see how I came up with the sequencing and the breakdown of my courses. And so I've decided that I'm going to be in 15 credits each quarter. I feel like my life circumstances are where I can take on that load. And so I have 15 credits established starting in fall quarter 2020. College Success is the first course. Then after that, Introduction to Communications, Information Research Essentials Info 101, and then English 101. And you'll see that I've identified the credits based upon the course map, and clicking on the linked, if we go back to the previous page, if you look here, these courses that are in red, they're linked. And so you can click on them to see what category in the degree they fit in. College 110 is a general elective. Communication Studies 101 is a humanities. It can be a general transferable elective. It can also be a general elective in that order. And then finally, Information Essentials is a general elective. And so by clicking, you can see what category they fit in, which is what I did. And so that's how I came up with GE. And in the template that I've provided to you in the Canvas page, there will be codes down there. So GE is general elective. HM is humanities. GTE is general transferable elective. GE is general elective. And then this is communications. In the next quarter, I've got some other categories of an Associate of Arts degree based upon the communications course map. So social science, general transferable elective, general elective. Humanities, general transferable elective, general elective. And then I've got Biology 100, which is also a lab course. So you want to make sure you click on those links to see where the labs are. You need at least one, typically in your all transfer degrees. And so right here, natural science, general transferable elective, general elective. And as I said before, I've broken all of my quarters down into to where I'm going to carry 15 credits, or what would be considered a full load, which is 12 or more credits in a quarter. And so using the course map, I've developed this map for the next 4 quarters, but I do encourage you to work with an advisor as you complete this, and try not to do this on your own. If you can schedule time with an advisor during the quarter, that's going to be most advantageous for you so that you can talk through some of the things that you may not be considering if you do it alone. But if you do choose to do this alone, then think about what you have to do throughout the course of the day in terms of work, caring for family, and just taking care of yourself. And then are you in a situation where you can be full-time? Does your funding resource require you to be in full-time, or can you reduce down to what you need? Can you be full-time this quarter, but in the next quarter, are you expecting to be less than 15 credits? As long as you stay on the plan, it really doesn't matter how many credits you take unless there's a specific amount required for your funding source. And that's something that you want to check in with when you make these decisions. I know for financial aid purposes, you can take 15. The assumption is that you're taking at least 12 credits. However, you can reduce down, but you do need to talk to financial aid before making that decision so that your payout is not, so that any refund check is not delayed. Some other things to consider. If you're undecided, I said the communications map is a really good one. There are some other ones that you can also consider, such as psychology, sociology, criminal justice, especially if you're thinking about being a paralegal or doing something other than being a police officer in the criminal justice system. This is a great one. Even those who are thinking about social work, understanding the criminal justice system. Some students choose to take this on as well because they want to work with a number of folks who are affected by the criminal justice system, as well as working with youth. Environmental science is an excellent one. Pre-nursing, of course, if you're thinking about not just nursing, but the healthcare pathway in general, such as sonography or radiology. Often they need many of the same prerequisites, maybe not all of them as nursing, but many of them. Or if you're thinking about dental hygiene, you're not quite sure, you're bouncing between dental hygiene and nursing or something in healthcare, pre-nursing can be a general path to pursue. And then once you make your decision, you haven't lost any ground as you were doing your exploring. Or if you wanted to become an economist, or if you want to move into supply chain management, or if you want to do global business, the business transfer degree course map can be helpful with that as well. Okay. Move too fast. Okay. And using your chosen course map, as I've done here, you're going to enter the courses in sequence for the next 3 quarters at least. I encourage you to go through to graduation. The form that I provided in Module 9 goes through 4 quarters, but it's a table, so you can just copy the table and create space in another Word document and save what you've done for these quarters that I've listed here, but also for the remainder of your degree until you get to that last course. And as I've stated before, you can do this on your own using the course maps, but I highly, highly recommend that you schedule time to meet with an advisor, to plan out your courses, to talk through the circumstances of your life, and to help you make decisions about things that you may not be thinking of if you do this in isolation. And if you have any questions about the assignment, please feel free to reach out to me through the Canvas inbox. Thank you so much.